Version 4.1. Initializing upgrades. Accessing peace. Existing without violence, with the ability to calmly resolve conflict. Downloading love. An overwhelming, deep, positive affection towards others. Activating liberty. Living your life as you see fit without infringing on the lives of others.
Welcome to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. I am your host, Darryl W. Perry, the Liberty Penguin, the Wombat, the uncut cocaine of libertarianism. And, you know, I just realized, and I've been doing this for a while, but I just realized that I'm kind of keeping a theme on the Monday and the Friday shows. Now, you know the Wednesday show is the Ask Me Anything. That's the show where we, just sometimes go completely off the rails, like jump the trolley completely off the track and just drive down the road for a little bit and then hop back on at some point. It's the Ask Me Anything. It's where I will answer any question. I've had questions about what do I think, some battle between AI and humans will be like. I've had questions about how do bees have sex without stinging one another. I will answer any question. So if you have those, you can always send your questions over to ama@fppradio.com. And as my friend Tom Knapp, who also doesn't Ask Me Anything on his podcast, the Knapp Stir podcast, he says sometimes you might not like the answer. It might not be the answer that you were wanting, but I will answer the questions. But going back to the theme sort of thing, to where I realized that on Mondays and Fridays there seems to be a theme. And sometimes there's a theme between Friday and the following Monday. But this past Monday we were talking about habits. And there were a couple of other articles that, definitely fit in with the habit thing. And I'm going to jump into those articles now. And again, as I said, there's two articles. I'll jump into one. Hopefully I'll have time for the other. If not, I will probably just post it in the show notes. I might cover it on Monday. I don't know. We'll see what the weekend brings. But speaking of habits, on Monday we talked about, how to get rid of a bad habit, how to start a good habit. Well, this is a 5-minute habit that the author of the article says can change your life. The story here, or the article, begins, in today's world, it's incredibly easy to get sidetracked from doing what truly matters to you. Every day, we're bombarded by distractions from all directions. Being able to minimize these distractions and focus your time on what's important to you will greatly influence your entire life. And notice they say on what's important to you. Because things that are important to me might not be important to you. What's important to you might not be the same thing that's important to your next door neighbor, or to your best friend, or to your significant other, or to, anybody else. I don't get to tell you what's best for you. I don't get to tell you what is most important to you. You decide that for yourself. Now, I can express opinions and say, I really don't think it's a good idea for you to spend so much time doing fill in the blank, because here's consequences that I see happening. But it's ultimately up to you to decide whether or not that is important to you. Let's continue. When it comes to being productive with your time and focusing your days on what really matters to you, there is a 5-minute habit that can have a significant effect on your life. It's very simple. You must tell your time where to go. That's it. Tell your time where to go. I am going to do this now. I'll do this other thing later. And some people will say, see, this means you have to schedule every minute of your day. I'm going to go to the bathroom at 10:06, and if I'm not in the bathroom at 10:06, then, oops, I miss potty time, and I don't get to go potty until it's on my schedule again at 1:32 in the afternoon. I will eat lunch at 1:05, and I will conclude eating lunch at this time, and then I will do this, and nope, I can't, do this other thing because it's not on my schedule. And there are people that are like that. And that's fine if that's how you like to live your life, but that doesn't mean that everyone lives their life that way. Continuing now, the author says taking 5 minutes every day to write down your schedule for the next day can help you stay on track towards your goals, decrease time wasted on unimportant activities, and help you make sure you are spending your day doing what matters most to you. And again, you don't necessarily have to, if you are going to write this down, you don't have to say from 9 to 9:15, I am doing this. At 9:16, I begin doing this. At 9:37, I will drink 2 sips of coffee. At 9:38, I will do this. You don't have to be that detailed, but what you should do when, coming up with, as they say here, a schedule, I prefer to think of it as a task list of here are the things that I need to get done today. If something has a due by time of I have to call the bank before they close, then call the bank before they close. Don't necessarily schedule out 11:15, I will call the bank. So, more, I do things more from a task list, or I just know here's things that need to be done. And I don't necessarily write it down unless it's something that is outside of my routine. And here are some tips for maximizing your schedule when or your task list as you are writing things down. Number 1, they say set aside time to do something you love. And this is something that I think a lot of people wind up skipping out on. Or they will think, well, I really like arguing on Facebook for 12 hours a day. I really like drinking a bunch of beer. I really like sitting on my couch and watching crappy television. I really like doing these things. But do you? Do you really like doing those things? Is there something else you would rather be doing? Stay tuned. This is Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com.
Hi, this is Roger Paxton from the Lava Flow Podcast, the Free Coast Freecast, and Pax Libertas Productions, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. So we're talking about a new habit, if you will, that could change your life. The suggestion here is to spend 5 minutes coming up with a schedule for your day and setting aside time for certain things and making sure you do certain things. Number 1 on the list, they say set aside time every day to do something you love. Every day, plan something or rather plan time to do something that you love, even if it's just for 5 minutes. When you take time to regularly do the things that light you up, your life will change, and so will the people around you. If you're not sure what you love, they say check out this free workbook, and they have a link to something, 30 questions to find your passion. Number 2 on the list, make sure you're living your top priorities. They say writing down your schedule can help you stay focused on what's truly important in your life. As I say, don't necessarily put a detailed schedule, but here's things that I need to do. Not necessarily a checklist of, write down check items. Do this, do that, finish checklist, begin checklist. And then you check off, I finished writing my checklist and I began, completing my checklist. Yay, 2 things down already. You don't necessarily have to do that either. But they do say that as you write down your schedule or your list of tasks for the day, make sure you're spending time on your top priorities. If you notice that month after month, day after day, you're neglecting what's important and filling your schedule with junk, it's time to reevaluate yourself. By consistently writing down your schedule, if you discover you're not living your top priorities, dig deep and be really honest with yourself about what your top priorities really are, and reevaluate your life and schedule so that you can truly live your priority. Next, they say group similar tasks together. When you're writing down your schedule, consider batching tasks together that are similar or that require you to be in the same location. This can help minimize time spent transitioning from one activity to the next, which will help increase your productivity. Think about your daily tasks and group them in a way that allows for seamless transitions. And the thing here about being more productive, remember it was a while back we discussed the thing about here's the reason you should not check your email in the morning, and here's the reason you should not consistently check your email throughout the day. Because apparently the way the brain works is it takes you about 20 minutes to really get focused on something once you start a new activity. So you were making telephone calls, and then you decide, I'm going to check my email. And then you start making telephone calls again, or, compiling the ID10Ts or the TPS reports or whatever. It's going to take you some time to get focused again on whatever the task is at hand. And now there are some things that are easier to transition into than others, but still you do wind up losing some of your focus if you every 5 minutes go over to your email, or if you've got one of these notifications that every time you get an email it pops up, you've got mail. And then you're like, oh, let me stop what I'm doing and go check my email, and let me stop and go check my email. Then you're not really focused at all on what you're doing, and you're just kind of going through the motions, and you're not necessarily that productive. And now I realize that there are some jobs to where, it's tedious sort of stuff, and you don't have to give your full attention, but that's, I don't think necessarily what they're talking about here. Next on the list, and this is something that was mentioned earlier, give yourself deadlines. Deadlines are very important as they can help us significantly increase our effort. When you write down a schedule or a task list, put time limits on the task. When you feel the task must be completed in a certain amount of time, it can help you avoid procrastination and take immediate action. Some people, though, and this is, me breaking in here, some people will severely underestimate how long it takes something to be done. Other people severely overestimate how long it takes something to be done. So you need to, if you are going to wind up saying, I'm going to do X for 15 minutes, make sure it's a task that only takes you 15 minutes, not something that's going to take you 3 hours, and you're like, I thought it would only take about 15 minutes. They continue, one way to maximize your self-imposed deadline is to use they actually mentioned the Pomodoro, and that's something that I've never used, but I've heard Brett Venat of the School Sucks podcast discuss that before. They say this very simple technique can significantly help you focus during your time allotted for each task. And also, we've mentioned before that a dream with the deadline becomes a goal. So if you don't wind up giving yourself a deadline, you're just like, I hope one day I'll rake the leaves. But unless you say, I'm going to rake the leaves this weekend, I'm going to rake the leaves before the kickoff of this football game, and then you've got something to look forward to. I'm going to do this, and then I get the reward. Because remember, on Monday we were talking about, the way habits form is there's the trigger, there's the action, then there's the reward. It's Saturday morning, let me do the yard work. When I finish the yard work, I get to watch football. So then you wind up getting a good habit of do yard work, reward yourself with football. Maybe you don't like football. Maybe you like something else. Maybe you like, hot wings and tacos. Reward yourself that way, whatever. But reward yourself with something that you like that is going to encourage you to continue doing the thing. Number 5 here, they say include a small step toward a big goal on your daily schedule. And we'll jump into this, the paragraph that they have explaining that. And we will be able to get into 5 amazing apps to help you build habits faster here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. That's getcell411.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.xyz, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.xyz today to find out more.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Hey, welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. We're going over a 5-minute habit that can change your life. The suggestion here is to spend 5 minutes at the beginning of the day compiling a schedule or a task list of things that you are going to do during the day. And they say that you should set aside time to do something you love. Make sure that you're living your top priorities. Put similar tasks together. Give yourself deadlines and include a small step towards a big goal on your daily schedule. In order to make real regular progress towards your big goals, commit to taking a small action step every day. Each day, write out the action step you will take the next day to move yourself closer to your dreams. And the author of the article says, I hope these time management strategies help you as much as they've helped me. Writing down a schedule is a very simple exercise, yet it can be life-changing. When you tell your time where to go, it helps you focus on life, or rather it helps you focus your life on what truly matters to you. This will enable you to live a more fulfilling life. Again, I just want to say, make sure if you do wind up doing this, you don't become a slave to your schedule. Because then you're not telling the time where to go, the time is telling you where to go. And does that make sense to you? Let me again explain. If you're one of these people that you've got a very rigid schedule and you cannot deviate from the schedule, the time is telling you where to go. It's 9:16. I have to go to the bathroom right now, and then I have to go fill up my cup of water, and then I have to drink my cup of water, and then I have to go sit down at my desk, and then I check my emails for the next 4 minutes and 37 seconds. And then I do this, and then I do that, and I have to do everything that the schedule tells me exactly when the schedule tells me to do it. That is the schedule telling you what to do, not you telling your schedule what to do. That is you becoming a slave to your schedule. And again, I realize that everybody's personality is different, and if you enjoy living that way, that's fine. Just don't tell other people that that's what they have to do, because that is freedom and liberty, is that everybody gets to decide for themselves what they do as long as they are not interfering with the life or liberty of another person. Now, let's get back to how to build habits. Is there a way you can actually build a habit faster? Well, Lifehack has compiled 5 apps that they say can help you build habits faster. The first on the list is something called 66 Days. They say that's how long it takes to build a new habit. This is no easy task, and it's no surprise that 9 out of 10 people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions. And I don't make New Year's resolutions, but I do have yearly goals. And right now, I'm not doing so well with them. But I'm definitely trying. And that's really all you can do, right, is to try to meet the goals that you set for yourself. Some of them are easier to do, others not so much. But continuing here, they say, while having the right motivation and purpose is the first step, relying on willpower alone can only take you so far. That's why we've collected 5 useful apps, many of which we personally use at our company to build new habits and achieve goals. Also, 66 Days is not the name of an app. It's just sort of, like something that they have in large, bold letters here to let us know that that's how long it takes to build a new habit. They say whether your goal is to lose 15 pounds, learn a new language, or simply reduce stress, you can use the following tools to help you get there even faster. Number 1 on the list is something called Pause. It's for managing stress and anxiety. Stress is one of the deadliest and most common traits that leads to disease and premature death. Luckily, it's also something that we can control as long as we take time to pause and slow down during our busy days. There's a little bit more written about this app, but I will jump down to number 2 on the list, which is Coach.me. This, they say, is a community of habit builders. Formerly the Lyft app, not Lyft as in the ride-sharing app, which is spelled L-Y-F-T. Lyft, L-I-F-T, is now Coach.me. It's not only a habit tracker, but a community. You can design a plan, or you can hire a coach for $15 a week and share it publicly. The way they have it worded here, it looks like you can design a plan, comma, or hire a coach for $15 per week, comma. So it's free to create a plan, or you can pay someone $15 a week to create a plan for you. You are then able to share it publicly with the community for feedback and support. Some people don't like sharing their goals publicly, and they have the option to change their privacy settings inside the app as well. Overall, they say it's a simple and useful app to help build new habits in your life. Habit List is another one that we'll discuss here, along with the other 2 apps here on the list of 5 apps to help you build habits faster here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com. Why do they hate us? Is libertarianism compatible with Islam? Davi Barker answers these questions and more in Voluntary Islam and Other Essays. He advances the voluntarist cause with analysis of the confluence of values between Islam and libertarianism, as well as contemporary movements from the Tea Party to the Arab Spring. Voluntary Islam by Davi Barker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Since we're talking about apps, allow me to mention the FPP app. You can find that at app.fpp.cc. That's app, app.fpp.cc, or app.fppradio.com. And that's an app you can download, and you've got to download the APK. It's safe, don't worry, but you download this, and it gives you links to the monthly newspaper, to all of the shows from FPP Radio, as well as it is able to link you over not only to the Bitcoin store from Free Press Publications, but also the web content there of FPP. So again, app.fppradio.com or app.fpp.cc. So getting back here to the list of apps that help you build habits faster, let's go back over the list. Pause is something to help you deal with stress. Coach.me is a habit tracker in the form of a community. Next, they have Habit List that allows you to set, track, and build new habits. They say another great app is Habit List. While Coach.me is focused more on helping you achieve your goals, Habit List allows you to track new habits that you want to build in a simple way. Strides, STRIDES, is habit tracking visualized, and there's a little bit more written about that, but I want to make sure that I also mention the final one on their list, Calm, that's CALM, Peace of Mind on Demand. The author of the article here says, as I write this post, I have Calm's Mountain Lake background noise on to help me focus. Many people compare it to Headspace, which we've recommended in our happiness post, but I personally prefer Calm because of its diverse functions. You can use it for meditation guidance, gratitude practice, soothing background noise, and more. And as always, the link to the articles will be in the show notes. And again, every Wednesday, I want you to remember this. You can put it on your schedule. Every Wednesday, I answer your questions. You can send those over to ama@fppradio.com. That's AMA as in Ask Me Anything at fppradio.com. And don't forget, until November 8th, you can vote for the FPP Peace Prize winner at peaceprize.xyz. Have a good weekend. We'll be back on Monday.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copy Heart. We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News, and also get a copy of the monthly newspaper FPP News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.